Swindon Town are confident of creating yet another cup upset tomorrow night when they play Burnley. Under Paolo Di Canio, they've beaten 7 clubs from higher divisions in the last 13 months, including 2 from the Premier League. And tomorrow's home tie with Championship Burnley sees them face one of their former players, Charlie Austin, who's currently leading scorer in all 4 divisions. His face is still all around the county ground. Charlie Austin scored 37 goals in a whirlwind 16 months in Wiltshire. And but for an unfortunate bobble on the Wembley pitch, both he and Swindon might be playing in the Championship now. A year and a half after moving to Burnley for over £1 million, he's finally back again.
It's obvious that good reception at the beginning is okay. I hope they don't gonna sing his name during the game, otherwise they're gonna take an extra lift. This is normal. But all respect, everybody deserves maybe the good reception if they have done a good job in the place where they maybe go back, no?
Swindon put 4 past Bournemouth on Saturday and beat Premier League Stoke in the previous round of this competition. So taking on a Championship side holds no fear.
We've done really well here. I think home and away in the Cup in the past 2 years. We've beat some big teams. I think we've beat 2 Premiership teams, Wigan and Stoke. We beat Bristol City early last year and Huddersfield and that as well in the FA Cup. So especially at the county ground, I think we seem to do well in cup competitions. It's a one-off game. You either go through or you don't, obviously, and we seem to do well in it.
It's now 16 years since Swindon made the 4th round and got to play Manchester United at Old Trafford. The chance of facing a top club again is one of the big incentives for winning tomorrow night's tie.
Now to football, and Swindon Town will be trying to further enhance their reputation for causing cup upsets tonight when they play Burnley in the League Cup 3rd round. Alistair Durden is there now. Alistair, what do you reckon? Is there a good chance of them going through?
Yeah, I reckon so. I think we've certainly learned not to underestimate Swindon Town in any cup tie since Paolo Di Canio arrived here, and Burnley will be well aware of this excellent record that they have, and here it is. In the last 13 months, they've managed to beat 2 Premier League sides, Wigan and Stoke City. Brighton and Bristol City have also been turned over, and these 3 other sides were all in the division above Swindon when they were beaten in cup competitions last season. In fact, the only regret really for the manager is that amongst all those ties, his team haven't yet had a chance to test themselves against one of the really big sides.
Already we have played against Wigan, Stoke City, you know, Premier League clubs, but one day I would like to play against Man United, Manchester City, because even if there is a chance to lose 5-6 goals, you know, 2-0 maybe, it would be a good experience for all the movement around Swindon, you know, for the club, for the players, for the fans.
That's what happens when you're at the end of the programme. Well, I'm sure the chairman agrees as well. Jeremy Ray, is that where the money is in the League Cup if you can draw a Man United?
Well, we do look at the draw, and every time you get one of the big clubs, you're coming out and it's not you with them. There's a tinge of disappointment, but all you can do is go and try and win your next game and hope that they're still in it for the next one. I know Paolo's itching to pull out one of the big ones, a Man United, maybe even a West Ham, something like that. But we've got to focus on this one, to be honest.
Yeah. Have you made any money from this run?
There's not so much out of in the early rounds. I think that kicks in either if you're on a televised game or if you make the semi-finals. I think realistically, from our point of view, television's our best bet.
OK, well, best of luck. Hope you get the draw you want if you can get through. BBC Wiltshire will have all the commentary tonight. We'll have the result at 10:25.
We nearly went to the county ground a short time ago to tell you how League One Swindon are getting on against Championship Burnley, and Burnley have come close already. Kevin Watson.
Yeah, they have, Jules. They've come close on 2 occasions, actually. Both times from corners, both times Ross Wallace, the architect. The first one, he rolls it in towards a penalty spot. The first lad goes in, dummies it. Charlie Austin comes in, spins, hits the post with a terrific shot. Another corner from the right-hand side. Ross Wallace again, in swinging corner. It's headed by Austin, off the line. Good bright start from Burnley. Swindon not really come out of traps yet. 0-0.
As you can see, Swindon, who've already knocked out Brighton and Stoke in this competition, could be at it again. Kevin Watson.
Yeah, they certainly could, Jules. They forced the corner on the left-hand side. Matt Ritchie goes over on it, takes it really quickly. Burnley switch off. They're not looking. Rolls it back to Jay McEverley. It's a real dangerous left-footed cross. Goes in behind the Burnley back 4. Paul Benson, he always scores goals. He's there left-footed, bottom corner. Brian Jensen, no chance. 1-0 Swindon.
Yeah, third of the season for Benson and Swindon, who scored 7 goals in those 2 wins over Brighton and Stoke, up and running this evening against a team playing in the division above them, of course, in Burnley, who won at the weekend as well against Derby. Meanwhile, at the county ground, Swindon scored first in their game against Championship Burnley, who scored second in this game. Kevin Watson.
Things have just got a hell of a lot better for the Robins, Jules, because Swindon have gone 2-0 up. Burnley trying to play out of defence. They nick it, Swindon. Paul Benson, he rolls in his strike partner. Andy Williams runs through, slots it under Brian Jensen. 2-0 to the good.
His third goal for the club, so things are getting even better there for Swindon at the county ground. Back to the game then at the county ground, where Swindon led Championship Burnley by 2-0 at half-time. Have Burnley come out with real intent in the second half, Kevin Watson?
Well, we're only 2 minutes into the start of this second half, Jules, so not much has happened in all honesty, but Burnley really should have reduced the deficit just before half-time. Corner from the left-hand side, whipped in by Kieran Trippier. Ben Mee comes flying in, real powerful header, but he only manages to head it over the bar. So as we stand, it's still 2-0 to Swindon, and they've got a free kick right on the edge of the Burnley box.
Back to the League Cup in England. Swindon are one of the sides they're going to be pulling off an upset as things stand. Kevin Watson.
Yeah, they certainly are. Apart from the first 10 minutes of this game, Jules, Burnley have been poor on the night. In fact, Swindon have had several opportunities to increase their lead even further. The latest and probably best chance come when Gary Roberts has the ball left-hand side. Beautiful little chip to the back post. Andy Williams, diving header. Good save, Brian Jensen. As we stand, still 2-0.
So League One in front against Championship Burnley there. Let's get back to the game in the League Cup tie at the county ground. Some late goals starting to go in now, including this game where Swindon looked comfortable at 2-0 against a team above them in the divisions, Burnley in the Championship. But it's not as comfortable as it was. Kevin Watson.
No lifeline for Burnley. It's 2-1. Sam Vokes chases a hopeful ball down the channel. He turns Alan McCormack inside out, and it's a terrific cross just in behind the other Swindon centre half. Charlie Austin runs in on it, and his touch takes him past the keeper, and he runs it in. 2-1.
Charlie Austin against his former club with his 9th in 9 games in all competitions. No one scored more than that in England this season. So Burnley back in the game against Paolo Di Canio's side. Swindon have thoroughly enjoyed the League Cup this season. Will they still like it in about 10 minutes' time, Kevin Watson?
Yeah, and they've gone close to going 3-1 up. The ball was cleared from Burnley down the left-hand side. It's knocked back in by Jay McEverley. Andy Williams looks like he's offside, but he turns on it and he whips it just past Brian Jensen's left hand upright. Still 2-1.
In the meantime, let's get to the county ground. It's much closer this now, Kevin Watson.
Yeah, Swindon may have just put this one to bed, Jules. It's a free kick left-hand side. Jay McEverley, it's a wicked delivery into the back post. Troy Archibald Enville comes flying in. Great header. Looks like Jensen saved it, but it squirms under his body and over the line. 3-1.
It was looking close, but Swindon now look like they're going to pull off one of 2 upsets which are in play at the moment, with Swindon leading that one and Everton, despite getting a goal back, still trailing at Ellen Road. One tie still being played, which is at the county ground, but Swindon look to be on their way through to the next round. Kevin Watson.
Yeah, they certainly do, Jules. We've got about 30 seconds of the 5 minutes that's been added on, and they've been terrific tonight, thoroughly deserved their win. And as you speak to us, they've been brilliant tonight. They've won 3-1.
Swindon, another scalp for them. They've knocked out Brighton and Stoke, and now Burnley, all of them at the county ground where they're so strong, and Swindon and Paolo Di Canio through to the last 16.
Swindon followed up their shock win at Stoke in the last round by knocking out Championship side Burnley. Paul Benson opened the scoring for the League One side with his 3rd goal of the season. Andy Williams' 3rd goal in as many games made it 2-0 before half-time. Former Swindon striker Charlie Austin pulled a goal back for Burnley. But Jay McEverley's free kick was met by Troy Archibald Henville to make the final score 3-1. And this is what it meant to their manager Paolo Di Canio at the full-time whistle.
We move to sport now, and it could be Chelsea, maybe even Manchester United. Swindon Town have just a few more hours to wait to find out who they'll play in the 4th round of the League Cup. Last night, they caused another upset, beating Championship side Burnley, and now everyone at the club is hoping for a big reward when the draw is made tonight.
Middlesbrough home or away?
Away.
At the moment, they're only guessing for the office sweepstake. But at 10 o'clock tonight, everyone at Swindon Town will know for real. It's the first time in 18 years they've made it this far, and now they're hoping the draw will be kind to them.
It's a little like Christmas Eve and waiting for Santa Claus to come and wonder what presents he's got in his sack. Yes, we're all eagerly anticipating 10 o'clock tonight, and I think everybody hopes for a big club in the next round. I think we've earned our passage, what with Brighton, then Stoke, and then last night Burnley. I think we deserve something big.
It would be disappointing to get a small side. We want a nice away tie to a big gun.
Well, I want Arsenal. Arsenal are not that good at the moment, and we beat them before.
With a record of cup upsets since Paolo Di Canio's arrival, last night's result against Burnley was perhaps not a surprise. And after some early scares, Paul Benson sent them on their way. By half-time, they were fully in control, Andy Williams scoring for the third game in a row. Inevitably, there was a goal for Charlie Austin, the Burnley striker netting on his return to the county ground. But the result was put beyond doubt by Troy Archibald Henville, leaving the manager dreaming of a big draw.
Why not Man United away, Chelsea away? I'm not mad if I say that I would like to play there, because even if there is one chance in a million, I would like to try and make maybe football history for this club with my players. Why not?
There's no prize money to speak of in these early rounds. It's all about big crowds or being picked for television. So Swindon have their fingers crossed for tonight. Alistair Durden, BBC Points West.
We've all got our fingers crossed, and I'll have the fixture for you at 10:25.
Now, it's fair to say these are good times. At Swindon Town, the Robins are riding high in the League One promotion race and then pulled off the shock of the second round after they dumped out Premier League Stoke in a 7-goal thriller at the Britannia Stadium. On Tuesday night, Paolo Di Canio's men were at home to Burnley of the Championship.
Swindon are getting used to upsetting higher division sides under Paolo Di Canio. This was the 8th occasion they'd managed to do so since the Italian took over at the county ground. Paul Benson sweeping the Robins into a 19th minute lead before Andy Williams bagged his third goal in as many games just before half-time. Former Swindon striker Charlie Austin came into the tie, having scored twice in each of his last 2 matches, and he gave Burnley some hope with 16 minutes to play. But the Robins' first appearance in the 4th round since the mid-90s was sealed by Troy Archibald Henville's header to leave Di Canio dreaming of a date with one of the big boys.
I'm not crazy, I don't think about the final. I think that why not Man United away, Chelsea away, or another big top club away or at home, but away is better. 50,000, big chance for everybody. You know, our followers, you know, our fans can come in 4,000, 5,000. It would be a fantastic moment for everybody at Swindon. And even, I repeat, there is one chance, not anymore in 1 million, in 100 million. Why not to try to make this club football history?
Also for Swindon Town, you suspect there aren't many teams out there who want to be drawn against Paolo Di Canio's side.
Let's face it, they beat Stoke, they beat Brighton, they beat Burnley, and Paolo Di Canio wanted a big club, and you know, the bigger the better. And yeah, you wouldn't fancy going down there. They play some good football.
Having beaten Brighton and Stoke in previous rounds, Swindon were looking to produce another upset at the expense of Burnley. Paul Benson helped them on their way with the required finish. And it got better for Paolo Di Canio's side as Tommy Miller played in Andy Williams for Swindon's second, and the club looked to be on course for a place in the last 16. Charlie Austin, on his return to the county ground where he made his name, got in on the act to offer Burnley some hope of a cup comeback. But with 6 minutes left, Troy Archibald Henville ended the contest with his first goal for the League One side, and Swindon's work was done.
After disposing of Stoke in the second round, Swindon yet again overcame higher-ranking league opposition in the third round of the Capital One Cup. Burnley were the visitors to the county ground. It was the Championship side who made the brightest start. Robins fans were probably thinking it was going to be one of those nights when a former player comes back to haunt you. Charlie Austin was that man, and he saw a decent header from the corner cleared off the line by Jay McEverley. Swindon fans need not have worried. By the 19th minute they were in the lead. McEverley the provider from a short corner, a delightful turn on the half volley by Paul Benson, who claimed his second of the season. Eddie Howside nearly responded immediately. Good link-up play between Austin and Ross Wallace on the right-hand side saw an inviting cross into the box. Chris McCann headed down and on target. Wes Fotheringham eventually claimed it in the Robins goal. Burnley dominated possession for much of the half, but a carelessly loose ball from David Edgar at the back allowed Tommy Miller to steal in. He fed a great pass to Andy Williams, who coolly slotted home Swindon's second. Sam Vokes came on for Miller at half-time, and he was to see a header scrambled off the goal line from a Kieran Trippier free kick. The final shot went over the top as Burnley threatened to pull one back. With 15 minutes to go, Burnley did pull a goal back. Vokes the provider from the right-hand side, and Austin matched it with some great footwork in the box to stroke home his 10th of the season and make it 2-1. Rather than Burnley fighting back, it was Swindon who slipped into another gear as they looked to kill off the tie. Williams curling a decent effort just wide of the far post, whilst Gary Roberts conspired to volley over the bar after some good approach play by the hosts. Any doubt of Town's progression into the fourth round was made safe in the 83rd minute. The Clarets were unable to deal with a McEverley free kick, which was allowed to trickle across the face of goal to Troy Archibald Henville, who nodded in at the far post, his first goal for the club after some suspect goalkeeping from Brian Jensen. 3-1 Swindon go through, knowing that the last time they beat Burnley in this competition, they went on to win the trophy.